let's talk a little bit about Ms. Nichols. You know from the evidence, we took a long, hard look at Ms. Nichols. Not that she knew that Nipsey Hussle was going to get shot, but we looked at her behavior after the shooting. She heard gunshots. She saw him with a gun. He comes back with 2 guns. Later, she hears Nipsey Hussle got shot. She knows they were there. The question arises when she allowed him to stay at the mother's house, when she let him use her ID to get a room the next day. Was she doing that to assist him in evading the police? Right? It's a natural question that you would want to take a long, hard look at. Because that question existed, and she was being called to testify, both at the grand jury and here, it raises a question of what her rights are under the law. She doesn't know her rights, unless you tell her. So before she was interviewed by Mr. Washington, he told her, these are your Miranda rights. You waive these rights and agree to talk to us. She said yes. 5 hours. No, I need a break now, I want a lawyer now. No, she cooperated. 5 hours. And then later, she was asked to meet with the district attorney. Again, she was advised of her rights. She waived them. We talked. Another 2 hours. We got to the grand jury. You know from the evidence that I initiated the immunity agreement with her. Because she was going to testify under oath, it is the better practice to make sure that the witness has a lawyer and understands that she has a right to request immunity. She didn't know she had the right to request that, and she never did until she was told. So we granted her what's called use immunity. Use immunity means we're giving you immunity for what you're going to say in this limited place. Not transactional immunity, which is immunity against ever prosecuting you. It's a broader immunity. We're just going to immunize the statements that you make in court. We already had 7 hours of interviews with her, statements from her. If we were going to prosecute her, we already had the evidence to do it. But the decision was made, and she was never charged with any crime, because you may not see it the same way. But I'm taking time to say this. She's not on trial here, obviously, but I'm taking the time to say this because I think it's important. In listening to her testify and how she processes information and how she makes decisions, she, whether it was willful neglect or willful blindness, she was honest when she said, I really wasn't convinced he did it until I saw it on the news. I suspect many people, the moment he came running back to that car, would have been highly suspicious. And certainly by the time they got home and saw on social media that Nipsey Hussle was shot, many people would have put 2 and 2 together at that moment. I don't think she did. And I think that comes across in the evidence. That she really wasn't convinced until she saw a news report. That's either here nor there. But I took the time to say that because I wanted to explain what the immunity was all about, if you had any questions about that. What was impressive about her is she immediately gave up her phone. And not just here, you can look at my phone. You can extract all the data from my phone. You think about how much personal information we all have on our phones. It's probably making some of you uncomfortable to even think that somebody could go in your phone and extract all the data. All the phone calls, text messages, impressive that without knowing that was coming, she said yes. Search my car, search my apartment, search my mom's house. And we did. And after doing our due diligence, she got the agreement that we gave her, and you heard her testimony, which is the most important thing.